Hey guys, and welcome. Today we'll be explaining and summarising the full storyline of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This game is absolutely fantastic, and after around 16 hours of gameplay I've managed to completely smash up the story, and let's just say that I'm definitely jumping back into trying 100% this game because this is one of my favourite games that have released in the last couple of months, if not years. Now, as many of the returning viewers already know, these types of videos are created with the aim of summarising and walking through the storylines of different games, for those that rather don't want to spend the money, for those that don't have time to play through it, or maybe you have played through it and you just want the storyline summarising and explaining to you in a bit more detail, just in case you may have missed anything or some of the dots don't quite link together. So please consider leaving a like, it'd be very much appreciated if you're going to enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel as well for plenty more story-based content like this going for pretty much every single game that comes out, story-based or not. We do try to cover it on this story and lore channel. These videos do take a very long time to make, so any support that you can show would be very, very appreciated. But without further ado everyone, let's dive straight in. Jedi Survivor begins showing Cal on a ship, handcuffed, entering a city, looking pretty sorry for himself, surrounded by 4 guards, one of them carrying a case of some sort. Cal looks older, with facial hair now, and it looks as though he's been through some stuff since the events of the previous game. Still chasing down the Empire, and he has been ever since, years later. The ship finally reaches its destination, descending down into a huge facility through a hole in the ground. We finally reach the bottom, and there is a complete underground city. The ship lands and the guards make their way off the ship, and Cal is escorted off by the 2 guards surrounding him. Cal was captured and his capturers were here to bring him to the Senator. Throughout we see civilians being treated terribly by the Imperial forces, torturing them, preventing them from going out after certain times, and just giving them no freedom at all.
You can't treat us like this!
Throughout us walking through the city, we just hear the Senator spouting propaganda across the city. The Senator barely ever shows his face anymore. He's always hiding away in his office, but bringing a Jedi to the Senator? If that doesn't make him want to come out, then what else will? We'll make our way to the Senator at the top of the compound, and here he tells us that seeing a Jedi is rare, but that's not all. Inside this container that the guards were carrying was Cal's lightsaber. The Senator wants us to lead him to the remaining Jedis, to bring them to him also. However, we tell him that we just can't do that, because Cal is the final one. The Senator does not believe this, and essentially threatens to torture Cal with his own lightsaber, and try to get the locations of any remaining Jedi out of him. But then in the background is BD-1. The lightsaber suddenly stopped working in the hands of the Senator, and Cal slowly stands and asks the Senator,
"Did you really think you could capture me?"
BD-1 breaks Cal out of his cuffs and he uses the Force to obtain his lightsaber out of the Senator's hands. Cal takes out the 2 remaining stormtroopers that were trying to guard him before the Senator jumps onto his yacht and attempts to flee. Although BD-1 and Cal had a few tricks up their sleeve, knowing the Senator would probably do exactly this. Before the Senator could get away, BD-1 activated a homing beacon to bring the ship back toward them. But it was a little bit too strong.
Oh, really hot! Hold on! It's okay.
We need to try and make our way aboard this yacht and speak with the Senator again, so we've got a bit of climbing to do. We eventually reach the top and come face to face with a stormtrooper, and at the top, one of the guards.
What took you so long?
Okay, so now that's cleared up, we need to go for the senator. The yacht bashed into the side of a factory after BD-1 paralysed it so that it can't go anywhere. It turns out the soldiers from before, the ones that escorted us into this facility, into this city, were all a part of a big setup. The plan all along was to organise a fake meetup to try and interrogate the senator and obtain some information on the senator's computer that he had on the Emperor and the Imperial Army to help fight back against them, and even try to bring them down, or find ways to try and bring them down. Bode and Cal throughout this time begin conversing, understanding more about Bode as a character and as a person. He has a daughter that he's been trying to keep safe all this time, trying to fight for, provide a better life and a safer environment for. However, the Empire took and killed his wife, obviously his child's mother. So this was a driving force and a motivation for Bode, and this is what sparks his motivation for revenge. We regroup with our team at the top of the facility, and there is the senator's yacht. As we enter the yacht and walk into his office, he was very surprised, but he wasn't giving up his passcode to his terminal. Without a bit of persuasion from Cal.
You will give me access to your terminal.
I can't.
Unlock it and you'll be rewarded.
I'll be rewarded. I will unlock the terminal.
Cal uses the Force to trick his mind, which was really awesome at the time. BD-1 has a look with Cal. A hologram comes up on the screen, and here we can see that the senator is looking to buy a new PC. Well, isn't he lucky that I've partnered with Apex Gaming PCs and can give you and the senator an amazing deal on a brand new system. All built to run your new single player games and take over the entire planet like an absolute dream. From the mid-tier build, the specialist rig, to the more high-end performance builds, the elite rig and the giga rigs. There is a build here for any type of gamer or senator. If you use code Wizzo at checkout, you can save up to $250 off your entire order. And also, I'll throw a little incentive in there as well for the first few that order using my link and code. I'll give you $50 back for the first few that order the specialist rig, $100 for the first few that order the elite rig, and $150 for the first few that order the giga rig as well, to help with any peripherals or setup upgrades you might want when looking for a new PC. So send me the proof on Twitter, I will send you the money, all the links are in the description down below. Enjoy. After the Emperor was looking for a new PC, we saw a diagram on screen showing the Imperial forces just being everywhere. The years and years of fighting that Cal and the crew were doing, it didn't slow the Imperial army down whatsoever. If anything, they've grown in numbers even after they've taken multiple forces out. With the Jedi's gone, the Republic being dead, it's very one-sided at the moment, and it's going to take a lot to fight back. The Senator tells us that he did all that he could to save his people. He didn't want his planet to join the Empire in the first place, but if they didn't, they would all be dead. He wanted to cut a deal with Cal, but Cal was having none of it, and refused there and then, asking Bode to escort the Senator out of the ship and up to the very top. As we step our foot outside the yacht, suddenly a rocket was fired at our ship, destroying it completely. We were completely surrounded by Imperial forces. How did they know we were here?
What took you so long?
The Senator stepped forward and asked what took so long, but was cut off mid-sentence with a lightsaber to the chest, killing him instantly. He was pulled closer towards the culprit by the Force, and there, the ninth sister, she was back. The team come under very heavy fire at that time, with Gabs and the twins being shot in the chest and killed by the ninth sister. Cal wanted revenge for this, and he walked toward the ninth sister and wanted to fight, despite his teammates urging him to get back to the ship so they could leave this place. But as he got closer, a ship came crashing down towards him and sent him flying off the edge. We finally make our way back up to the top, and there, an army of enemies. Our team make a grand entrance and fly the Senator's yacht straight into all of the enemies on top. However, we eventually become surrounded. We jump on one of the gunships and, well, we don't do a great job of taking it out, sending it crashing down into the helipad and watching it burn. Before suddenly, there's the Ninth Sister, stood straight in front of us. After a tough, drawn-out battle, we finally take her out. The Ninth Sister, Masana, was a Jedi Knight before she betrayed the Order. Masana Tide was her full name. Cal stops fighting, tells her it's time to set her free. Masana was having none of it and charged directly at Cal, and he ended it all there and then.
Yeah. I'm okay.
We regroup with what group we have left. Gab and the twins were all unfortunately dead during the battle, but they knew the dangers and they knew what they were signing up for. The only thing that we can do to honour their legacy is to continue on and complete the mission. We need to transmit the intel that we found from the Senator's yacht to someone that we're working with called Saw Gerrera. However, we still need to get the hell out of here. Bravo finds a hangar bay with a bunch of ships located within. So we make our way down there, give Bode a locator beacon so that he can find us and get paid what he's owed. If we make it out of here alive, of course. And let him and Bravo take their separate ships and lead the way, whilst we take the Mantis and try to get the hell off this planet. We take some heavy fire whilst going through the maintenance tunnel, even losing Bravo at the end, another soldier that's just lost in battle. However, Cal manages to escape unharmed, but the ship could do with some repairs here and there.
Took some hits back there. Mind running diagnostics while I transmit the intel?
We lost a lot of our team on this mission, with only Bode and ourselves coming out alive. Cal transmits the info to Saw Gerrera, and with a sad yet relieved look on his face, he picks up a photo of the crew that had been taken just before the mission, reflecting on the ones that had lost whilst he was there. However, in the background, a video of the first game, of Cal first meeting Seer and Grease, and then Marin, speaking with BD-1. How Marin wanted to travel the galaxy, and suddenly left Cal at the end of the first game, when it was very, very clear that he and her both felt a little bit more for each other than what they both let off. However, these memories were short-lived, because the gyro on the ship started to fail, meaning they wouldn't last long in the air. Cal couldn't just dock anywhere, as we can guarantee that someone will try and turn him in for some credits. However, we decide to take the Mantis to the one person who we could trust, the one person who knows the ship like the back of their hand, Grease. So, we tidy up the ship. Trust me, it will save a lot of moaning when Grease boards the ship. And we go to the planet, Koboh.
Systems failing all over.
However, on the way down to the planet's surface, all systems began to fail on the ship, resulting in a very turbulent ride down to the planet's surface. And the ship, well, it wasn't a very easy ship to land in this situation. Cal finally sets the ship down, and we probably won't be flying it again without any repairs. Cal finds the location of the outpost, and it's time to make our way there to hopefully find Grease. We make our way out into the planet. It's so calm here. Grease looks to be on the other side of all of this. However, as we get further into the planet, it seemed to be full of Bedlam raiders.
Take a look at that view. Is that a giant crater? Wow. I got it so easy. Guard the cliff, crush the locals, look at the scenery. Nobody's getting past me, not without a blaster hole in him. I wonder if I'll get promoted for doing such a good job. Then I'll get the other droids to guard the cliff. Oh, but then I won't see the scenery. Now that's a dilemma.
Dilemma solved.
Sir, I found something. It, seems to be close. Droid down!
A roll of mine? This damn place. Oh, if I ever find out who made these things. All right, guard the area. There could be more.
Yeah, sir. Sir! Oh, so I guess this means I'm in command now.
We finally make our way into the town in search for Grease, hoping he may know the whereabouts of the likes of Seer, Marin, and others. After their departure at the end of the first game, it was left a bit sour. So we make our way down into the saloon, and a being named Turgle flew out of the front door, being followed by multiple raiders, and a boss named Ravis. Turgle sold these raiders a fake relic to try and make a bit of cash. However, he was found out, and Ravis ordered the raiders to kill him. During this time, Cal revealed himself as a Jedi, to the surprise of Ravis.
A Jedi.
Ravis didn't want to fight Cal right now, and opted for peace. He decided to walk away, and finally, we walk into the saloon to ask if anyone knows where Grease is.
For an old friend. 4 arms. Hairy. Big mouth.
Vertically challenged. You can come out now, old boy. The coast is clear.
I'll tell you, Monk, the Bedlam Raiders are gonna be the end of this town. We got no hope. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. How you doing, BD? Wait a minute. Cal. Cal, just get over here, you son of a bogling. Oh, it's been a while. I missed you, kid.
Hey.
Let me look at you. You look terrible.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Grease.
Hey, are you...
Grease had a room especially made up for us, just in case we ever visited, which I thought was kind of cool. And why not give it a few hours before we get back out there, Ray? Why not rest our heads for a little while? I think Cal needs it. We're awoken a short time later to the beautiful face of Grease. Grease is trying to talk a bit of sense into Cal, telling him he needs to know when enough is enough, when to walk away. With the Empire becoming stronger and stronger every day, he should think more about himself and look after himself, and not being defined as just being known as a lightsaber. Cal needs to learn when to walk away from a rigged game, and to put what actually matters to him most first. The Imperial forces will never be weakened unless the leader is taken care of, essentially, and Grease feels as though that Cal is fighting a losing battle, and as we've seen on the Senator's computer, there's just more and more of them coming. But Grease was waiting for this day forever. Seeing Cal again, it just made him feel great. Cal tells Grease that he'll think about what he said, and we make our way into a smuggler's tunnel to find the spare parts for the Mantis that we need.
It's really good seeing you again.
Yeah, you too.
We eventually find what we're looking for, and that's not good. When we're down here, Cal said it almost reminds him of a Jedi training ground, but it feels way older. We reach a place called the Chamber of Duality, and the power seems to be still on. As we walk further in, we find a droid in the centre of the room, and when we place our hand on the device, we see a flashback. Here we see a flashback of a Jedi named Santari Khri, and the droid ZN-A4, or known as Z. Santari purged the memory on navigating the Koboh Abyss from Z's memory to prevent someone from getting hold of that knowledge. Santari gives Z a device called a tuner, which will also allow her to enter different facilities around the planet. This would also allow her to open something called the Forest Array and also activate it. The key to Tanalorr is in that array. If Z doesn't hurry, Santari fears that it will be lost forever. What is Tanalorr? Why was Z's memory purged? And who could it be from? However, this was the same device that the Raiders were looking for, which I thought was interesting as well. The Z's been here for a very, very long time, hundreds of years. But suddenly as we try to pry the device away, the droid comes to life. Z must have been here for hundreds of years before anyone's come across and found her. But suddenly as we try to pry away this tuner device, the droid comes to life. We free Z and asked what Tanalorr is, and its response was a planet hidden in the Koboh abyss. This is all that we know so far, but a lot more on this later. So we return back to Pyloon's saloon, which is of course Grease's saloon or pub, and there waiting for us is Bode, and then in walks Z. Grease was not impressed with us bringing new people into the space or the inner circle. Master Centauri ordered Z to open the Forest Array, but she can't continue in her current state. However, as soon as Z mentioned Tanalorr, Grease stops in his tracks, his eyes light up, and he turns around.
Wait a minute. Did you just say Tanalorr?
You've heard of it?
Yeah, it's an old prospector's legend about a lost world filled with treasure.
Tanalorr is only a myth, he says, or at least he thought. Grease is of course more interested in the treasure that's rumoured to be on Tanalorr in the legends that people have told in the past. If this place is real, we do need to find more about it. We were directed towards a large tower in the distance by the path and also by Z, and as we made our way to the top of the lift, and we activate the doorway with our key, fire up the array, and walk inside. As we walk inside, it begins to open up further, and in the centre of a glass cylinder was a person. Cal places his hand on the glass to try and go into the mind of this person, and there we find Santari Khri and someone named Dagon Gera, both on Tanalorr. They both discovered this planet together. This planet was hiding on the other side of the abyss, making it extremely difficult, nigh on impossible for one person to get there. The only reason they were able to find out about it was due to Santari. As we continue through, a huge mountain range straight in front of us. The goal here was to build a huge Jedi temple inside this mountain range. The temple would be the bastion for the Order, train new Jedis here as well, and make it a home for them. Cal finally reaches the foot of the mountain. The Jedi Council would have to visit this place in person and review the temple, due to the abyss blocking any communications going outside of it. However, as they were waiting for a decisive decision from the Jedi Council, they suddenly became under attack. But how? How did they get across and into the abyss, and how did they find Tanalorr?
Warn the others. We're under attack.
But then, Dagon turns to us.
You're not here. You're not supposed to be here. Release me. Please.
The person inside this chamber was Dagon Gera, asking us to release him. We access the terminal and out comes his lightsaber. As the water around him drained, he fell weak onto the floor, and once he became ready to, asked who we were.
Who are you?
We introduced ourselves, showed that we're also a Jedi, and, well, explained the current situation around the Order, how it's no more, and how the Imperials are taking over. The Sith Lord corrupted the public, and they destroyed the Order, and are hunting down all the Jedi's left. Cal wanted Dagon to help fight with us, to help fight back, and for the Jedi's to once again become a force to be reckoned with. We asked Dagon what happened on Tanalorr, and what happened here. And that's where he told us that they were invaded just as it happened in the vision. The battle was horrific. Dagon held the invaders at bay for as long as he possibly could, but there were just too many of them. But the Jedi Council ordered to abandon Tanalorr, and not to bother countering the attack on the invaders. Dagon never forgot that moment, and would go on to rue that day forever. Whilst speaking, Dagon placed his lightsaber on a control panel, and used his force to open it up almost like he was dissecting it, revealing a glowing yellow stone inside, the colour of his lightsaber. Dagon became agitated, increasingly more overworked when he was thinking about the Jedi Council betraying him, the ones that he trusted. Dagon destroyed the stone inside, turning the lightsaber and Dagon. To the dark side. After a long and drawn out battle, Ravis shows up. Dagon knows him? Ravis has an oath to Dagon apparently, but what could that be? As we made our way round to the side of the array, we find a whisper from Santari Khri, basically her saying that Dagon has divided the Order. He was so caught up in Tanalorr that he'd forgotten who he really was, but Santari still kept faith in him. We need to return to the Mantis to see how much progress Grease and Bode have made. So we tame an animal and make our way back there. We tell the others that we'd found Dagon Gera in the Bacta, but Tanalorr is real. The Republic found a way through hundreds of years ago in a ship, but right now if we try to fly through, the ship would be eaten up by the Abyss. This place Tanalorr seemed perfect to Cal, a place that only a select few could visit, out of the way from the Imperial officers, the Emperor, the Raiders, the lot. This could be a place, a safe place, that they could all eventually call home. So we asked Grease to help us pilot the ship, and he loves it. But then, more importantly, Cal drops the bombshell.
If anyone knows about a lost Jedi world, it's here.
Jedha! Aha! It's about time you paid that lady a visit.
Man, I can't wait to see Seer again, especially how it ended in the first game. Gassed. Seer was held up in the desert of Jedha, and as we approached closer to the planet, someone sent a transmission from Jedha to the Mantis. They eagerly await our visit, however there was a terrible sandstorm incoming very fast in the area. So we can't fly directly to Seer's location, but they will send the coordinates of a safe place to land, and a contact of Seer's will be sent to try and help guide us to the safe house. We finally reach Jedha and make our way toward the coordinates, and as we move through, we're ambushed by a jetpack stormtrooper, and suddenly, in calls Merrin to give us a bit of a helping hand. And what would you know? She was Seer's contact. I had a gut feeling it was her, to be fair. She has a land speeder down below guarded by a bunch of stormtroopers, so we need to try and take them out. However, the speeder was just knackered completely. I think someone blew it up with a rocket launcher. So we hitched a ride on a nearby Spammel. However, as the storm grew closer, the Spammel got scared and threw Cal and Merrin off. Stranded in the storm, we eventually find some shelter and try and weather the storm, just wait it out until it passes. This was a really powerful moment because this is where Merrin and Cal catch up for the first time in years, explaining more around why she left and why she needed to leave, and Cal essentially understanding why she left and why she needed to as well. As we can see in this scene, the spark never went out. The both of them wake up a short time later, and it's time to make our way to see Cere. When we eventually get there, we open up a doorway, and there is Eno Cordova, Master Cordova. We make our way further into the facility, and in comes the Mantis as well. But best of all, there's Cere.
Just keep trying. It's not like Brother Armai has to break contact. Cal Kestis. Welcome to Jedha. I knew the storm wouldn't deter you.
Cere's been working on rebuilding the Temple archives all this time in order to try and protect the legacy of the Jedi. Cere tells us she's a part of a network called the Hidden Path. To those who have been hunted by the Empire, they've found allies and also saved loads and loads of lives. When Cal was first sent off to fight as a young Jedi, it was chaos, just pure war. Cere always tried to teach Cal that being a Jedi was more than just being a lightsaber, more than just going to war and killing. Hence the reason why she left Cal in the first game. But more on this a bit later. The crew were finally back together. We tell Cere and the others about our plan, about Dagon Gera, Tanalorr, and this army of raiders. There was no mention of crossing the Abyss though. Cordova checks the archives to see if there's anything on Tanalorr or the Abyss, but there was no mention of anything in there. However, the only thing they did find was 2 entries on Dagon Gera. One was a retreat that he had on Koboh, and records show a laboratory on the Broken Moon. The locals say that the moon's haunted, and when Greaves hears about that, well, he didn't seem too impressed to tell you the truth. So that's where we go. On to the Broken Moon first, to see what we can find. As we move through the facility, we find multiple echoes giving us an insight into some of the things that happened here. Dagon took the risk to get into the Abyss, and the method of getting onto Tanalorr and past the Abyss was created by Centauri Kree. At the top of the facility, we find some form of broken device. We take this device back to Cordova, however, whatever Dagon used to cross the Abyss, it must be on Koboh. So that's exactly where we go. However, we find another one of these devices on Koboh as well, but this time with an echo giving us a bit more context.
Wait! Centauri.
Another of Centauri's devices. Dagon killed Jedi for destroying it. I think these could be our answer.
Multiple Jedis were trying to hide this device from Dagon, even going to the extent of destroying it to ensure that he never got his hands on it. Is this device used to get onto Tanalorr? Now we return to Jedha and give these devices to Cordova, but they were both completely busted and beyond repair. The second device was recovered and it seemed to be a duplicate of the first. They were both destroyed by Jedi lightsabers, but Cordova said he will try to do his best to save them, but he isn't promising anything. Whilst Cordova is attempting to repair these devices, we get word that the Imperials are in the area and are searching for the secret safe house of the Hidden Path. Ourselves and Marin decide to go and help, and within that time, Cordova should have enough resource and time to be able to research these items and see if they are repairable. The Hidden Path were taking shelter at a place called the Pilgrim Sanctuary, and Cere and Cordova chose the safe house due to its near impenetrable structure and series of hidden tunnels and canals below the surface, allowing for easy exits and evacuations in the event of an invasion, like right now. The Imperial forces were using a huge automated drill to try and break through into the sanctuary, and, well, they got inside. We eventually open the doorway and see someone called Armius, who tried to kill us at first, but knew exactly who we were. He gave us a series of contact codes that cannot get into the hands of the Emperor. However, just as we were about to leave,
Kyle, he's gone.
Luckily Marin was there to protect and help us. We finally make our way out, running away from the giant drill this entire time, with it firing at us directly as we're trying to escape. We come to a dead end, and Marin's opens a portal somewhere, asking Cal,
Do you trust him?
Yes. Was that for luck?
No. Right.
Cal, caught up in the moment, forgot that there was a massive giant drill chasing after him. And this, I have to say, was one of my favourite sections so far in the game. This is the new and improved way of doing QuickTime events. Rather than just button mashing the entire time, it allows you to pay attention, and if you miss, you fail. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, we defeated the giant drill, and now make our way back to Cere to give it these codes, and to see if Cordova had fixed these devices. Return the codes to Cere and walk over to speak with Cordova, and see if he's been able to find anything. But they weren't able to repair the devices, but they did find some data in the archives. Centuries ago, the Republic established a colony on Koboh to study a stellar anomaly known as the Abyss. Centauri Kree led the research team, with her droid assistant, Z. Early attempts to navigate the Abyss ended in complete disaster, with the Republic being on the verge of even abandoning the project due to the amount of lives that were lost. But guess who decided to fly in alone and discover a planet on the other side? Dagon Gera. Centauri Kree created these devices, which are compasses, used to navigate the Abyss. When these devices were created, the Republic established a settlement, and the Jedi built a temple there as well, just as we saw in those visions. However, this was very short-lived, due to a group of raiders called the Outer Rim Marauders invaded Tanalorr. They must have stolen a compass to get across the Abyss. It's the only explanation as to how they got there. Overwhelmed by the invasion, the Republic abandoned Tanalorr, and the Jedi Council ordered Centauri Kree to destroy all of the compasses that she made. However, Dagon Gera refused and rebelled against the order. However, throughout this entire time, Dagon was working with a Jedi. The Jedi is essentially the species of Ravis and some of the Raiders. But Marin tells us that the Jedi don't usually ally with other species, so why would they be working together? Records in the archive indicate there are 3 compasses altogether. 2 were destroyed, so there could be a third one out there somewhere, and we need to find it. And to top it all off, Marin decides to join us on the Mantis, and of course, Cal is absolutely ecstatic about that news. We return back to Koboh, and we're quickly ran up on by Turgle. The Raiders were here, and they'd taken Z. They have a base in the swamp where we can only presume they've taken Z too, and we cannot let her stay in there and be in the hands of Dagon Gera. So we make our way there, and inside this facility that we go. Throughout making our way through this facility, Bode accompanies us, and Cal and Bode converse about the different possibilities on what could have happened here. Like what happened to the compasses, who gave the order, who put Dagon in the Bacta tank, was it Centauri Kree? But not only this, Bode also tries to talk some sense into Cal here, telling him that he should fight for what's important to him. Jedi avoid attachment, and that was a part of the original order. So if he sees a future with Marin, he should embrace that. Don't let it slip for a second time. However, suddenly, a shield gets in the way of Bode and Cal, so Cal distracts the droids whilst Bode does his magic. We're on our own again. We need to try and find Z and Dagon Gera. And as we're moving through the pipes, oh my god. We stabbed Ravis in the chest, but it just wasn't enough.
You're a bold one. There it is.
The device that Ravis took was on Dagon's orders.
Dagon's orders. This is for me.
We even sliced his hand off, and then he just put it straight back on, like, what? Anyway, BD1 helps us get the hell out of there, and I love this robot so much. He literally saved our life here. We finally reached the lift, and Bode is nowhere to be found, not even on the comms, nothing. However, we couldn't let that deter us from our objective, so we continue on and finally make our way into the lift. And below, in walks Dagon Gera and Ravis, and we start to eavesdrop a little bit. Dagon commands that we activate the forest array, and he sent a droid over to do this. There's also mention here that on the shattered moon, Dagon knows where Centauri hid the final and third compass. However, there's a really interesting piece of dialogue that comes just after this, and this is by Ravis himself. Ravis said that after all this is done, his oath will be fulfilled. It turns out that Dagon actually bested Ravis in combat hundreds of years ago, and ever since, Ravis has kept his oath to serve Dagon Gera. He's owed him his life ever since, and he's indebted to him, which is the reason why he's working for him right now. Dagon mentions more around Z, that we won't be scrapping her, but we will be reprogramming her, so that she can now serve him, as Z once served Centauri Kree. We enter the main doorway, and there's Z chained up. But then in walks Dagon Gera.
I suppose I'll rescue myself.
So you survived Ravis. How?
The usual. You murdered your fellow Jedi.
I struck down those who stood against me. Leave us or share their fate?
Even if you believe the Council betrayed you, they were still your family.
We fight him one-on-one, however, he managed to get away toward the end. Bode comes in out of nowhere and saves the day, and Z, well, she's okay. We have the device back so we can access the doorway and activate the forest array. However, Ravis has already cloned the device's frequency, so they don't actually need it physically anymore. So it's now us against the clock. We make our way to the escape pod to try and get the hell off the ship, but Cal seemed nervous, and Z could pick this up as well.
No. Okay then.
You seem nervous. I'm going with him.
Hop aboard, Z.
But we had one place to go, and that was the Shattered Moon. We finally make our way over to the Shattered Moon, however, it's surrounded by raider ships. If they were to go straight in, they'd have absolutely no chance of landing the Mantis. Marin states that she can cloak the Mantis for long enough to allow us to land and do what we need to do. So that's exactly what she does, throwing a few jokes around here and there with Bode and Grease.
Oh, and I might need some of your blood, in case I get tired.
We'll land on the Shattered Moon and progress through the moon base, and make our way into the Republic's research laboratory. And Ravis tells us that he's waiting for us on the control tower for one final battle. There's an echo showing us exactly what Centauri and Dagon were up to, the conflict between both, and how it became toxic like it did. Dagon has become obsessed with Tanalorr despite the Council ordering him to never return. Dagon walked into Centauri's office and tried to take the compass so that he could return. However, she wasn't having any of it. Dagon went to pick up the compass after using the Force and moving Centauri out of the way, and Centauri struck his right arm with a lightsaber, slicing it clean off. Dagon passed out on the floor, and Centauri asked for medical droids to be summoned at once, and for a Bacta tank to be created, which is exactly what we found Dagon submerged in, inside the array. However, she didn't turn him into the Council. We finally reach the top of the array, and there he is, Ravis. Here we learn more around Ravis' motivations, and why he ultimately is working with Dagon, and why he hates the Jedis. The Jedis dishonoured Ravis. Dagon bested him in combat a long time ago and earned Ravis' loyalty. They both fought side by side for hundreds of years, until the Jedi betrayed Dagon, and he was placed in the Bacta tank and gone for centuries. Ravis was on his own at that point, and trying to find a new way to free him. And it took many Jedi to defeat Ravis, and yet they dishonoured him, denied him of a warrior's death, left him to rot in a cage for centuries as a prisoner. The demise of the Jedi Order allowed Ravis to escape, and that's how it happened. We ask Ravis again where the compass is, but he refused to give us any answers, so we were forced to fight him. However, we get the better of Ravis, and he yields. Ravis reveals the location of the third compass, which is held in Centauri Kree's observatory. We've proven ourselves to Ravis, and he's even opened the door for us. We tried our best to ask Ravis to fight alongside us, to fight against Dagon Gera. However, he was fixated on Tanalorr.
I will not, Jedi.
And he didn't believe that we would beat Dagon to Tanalorr, so he essentially refused. Ravis wanted his warrior's death just as he had been promised, so we gave him exactly that.
Jedi, give me my warrior's death.
We should go.
We return back to the Mantis and make our way back to Koboh. However, during this time, Cal does some reflecting on the Mantis. Dagon's obsession with Tanalorr, abandoning the Jedi Code, blinded by his own goal, wasn't much different to the mindset that Cal had in the first game when fighting back against the Imperials, and even the mindset that he has now. Merrin, however, comes over and talks some sense into Cal, gives him a speaking to, and the speaking to that he needed. Cal's biggest fear is losing himself during this process, but the people around him will always guide him and bring him back to the straight and narrow when they need to. We arrive at Koboh, and now it's time to confront Dagon at the Koboh Observatory.
I won't let you through. I saw what you did to the others, Jedi scum. But you won't do it to me. Even your sorcery can't get through 15 centimeters of Imperial manufactured transparent steel, right?
Structural readouts indicate that we are perfectly secure, sir.
Oh, good.
In fact, my analysis indicates that it is perfectly impossible for an intruder to have made it this far.
What?
You should open the door.
I should... What?
This is an inspection. You have orders to let me pass.
This is an inspection. I have orders to let you pass. Apologies for detaining you, sir. I'm sure you'll find everything up to code.
Let's hope so.
Inside we see bombers, fighters. They could do some serious damage across all of Koboh with this type of gear. Then, we come across the best boss in the game, Rick the Door Technician.
The Jedi! Get ready to die!
One of the hardest boss fights in the entire game. Oh, that was easy. This was so funny. It's just the Rick the Door Technician. Just made me laugh. As we move up, we see that we're a long way up. Like, if you're afraid of heights, yeah, don't look down here. With TIE fighters and other crafts in the distance fighting, the Raiders and the Imperials are really going at each other. We tell Bode of our plan, and he tries to cover us from above, and he meets us at the top of the tower. However, as we do reach the top, it's time to face Dagon.
I will not return. Seek me out, or go to Tanalorr. That is yours to decide.
I guess he got the message a few years too late.
If Centauri had only stood with me, we could have convinced the Council that Tanalorr was worth the sacrifice. Now she's gone. Ravis is gone. The Order is gone, and I am free!
As we walk inside, we see Dagon watching a holo of Centauri Kree. Dagon is still adamant that Tanalorr was worth the sacrifice, and is completely fixated on that fact, stating that now he's free, with the death of Centauri and Ravis and others around him. But Cal just responds, "No, Dagon, you're just alone." He calls Cal a failure for not being able to defeat the Empire, throwing a stormtrooper's helmet at his feet to confirm this. But Cal is adamant that they haven't beaten us yet. Dagon wants to grow an army on Tanalorr, train a new era of Jedi, or soldiers in the temple and cleanse the galaxy with fire, fighting back against the Empire. But of course we couldn't allow that to happen. And we get into a fight with Dagon.
Still chained by the past. It will be your grave. How does it feel to know that you're about to die? That your life meant nothing? Don't resist. You can't hide from me. Ah, yes. I feel it. Loss, suffering, shame, anger. There's immense power in such emotions, but you were too weak. And now it's too late.
Just as we thought all hope was lost. Wait, what?
Shuttles are leaving. I will not return. You're lost. You've strayed from the path. And you are no Jedi.
Cal defeats Dagon and used the art of deception to get the better of him. He used his fear against him with Force hallucinations, allowing him to appear as Centauri Kree in the eyes of Dagon Gera. However, here, Cal has a brainwave. What if Dagon was right? Strange, right? Tanalorr is a fortress after all. We should use it for the hidden path. It's out of reach for all the Imperial forces. It can be a safe place that we call home, a safe place for the Archive, and just prepare for a huge battle against the Empire. However, as we're explaining this to Bode, he just doesn't seem very enthusiastic about it. And once again, he disappears after battle and says he'll meet us at the ship. We have the final compass, and we take it to Cordova to see if he can repair it. It's very heavily damaged, but Cordova is confident that it can be restored. So the crew kill a bit of time whilst Cordova's working on this compass and just have a bit of relaxing time.
Hey! I have more tea. But, you know, it's kind of heavy. If anybody wanted to give me a hand.
Of course,
that would be
Grease.
nice. Ah, thank you. Oh, ha, very funny. Okay, here you go. Round 2. What do you think?
It's strong.
It's very sweet.
You'll get used to it.
You see her. Why don't you join us on Tanalorr? There's no better home for the Archive or the Hidden Path. Look, whatever the future holds, we can face it together.
Yes. It's a new path for all of us. Cal, Master T'Pol would be proud of the Jedi you've become.
I had a good teacher.
Everyone, the hidden path has found a new home. To Tanalorr.
Tanalorr! Hey, wait a minute, Seer, does that mean you're coming?
Yes, Grease. In fact, I'm going to go and prepare the archive for relocation.
Well, it's getting late. I'll go with you. Say, where is the Manus in there? This place is terrifying at night.
I will escort you.
Oh, great. But, hey, none of that creepy stuff, okay? Seer, are the Anchorites really coming with us?
Of course, yes.
Wow, our family's growing with a boatload of creepy aunts and uncles.
We did it, Bode.
Yeah. Compass is gonna be good as new.
Something's bothering you.
Ah, you know me too well, Scrapper. Just thinking about Kata. And people looking after her, but it's always a bit tough when I come back.
When she sees what you've done for her, she'll understand.
I hope so. I was thinking maybe we should go to Tanalorr first. Just make sure it's safe before the others join.
The sooner we get the hidden path set up there, the better. Gotta stay one step ahead of the Empire, right?
Yeah.
Hey. Tomorrow we're gonna have a new home. Couldn't have done that without you, Bode.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm, gonna go record a bedtime story for Kata. You have a good night. You've earned it.
What a view, huh? Desert at night seems to stretch on forever.
And there is beauty in emptiness.
Now you sound like a Jedi.
You got a few things right.
Not everything. Look, the Order's gone. It's time to leave it behind. And I know what I want now.
Took you long enough.
Can I just say this? There is absolutely no way that it's all fine and dandy like this, right? These are my thoughts as I'm writing this and playing it right now. This isn't an afterthought. I wanted to put this in here to show you that what I was thinking at this exact time, right? I don't trust Bode. I don't know why, but it seems too good to be true here. He seems to always be there when needed, very voluntary all the time. He's way too nice. It's just really concerning. But let's continue on and, you know, see what happens. Let me know if you guys have the same vibe or felt the same vibe throughout the story as well. I felt this from the very start, to be honest, that he's just there all the time. Feels very friendly. And I don't know. It didn't seem like the other characters. There was a massive difference in personality in the way he comes across. And that was fishy to me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Return to the archive the next day and speak with Cordova, and here, he's fixed the device.
Master Cordova, you did it.
However, suddenly, Cere is notified of the Imperial forces coming and fast. They've found the base location, but how?
Bode. I'm really sorry about this. Oh. Son. Son, you don't have to do this.
Oh my god. As if it was like magic. I fucking knew it. I can't believe it. Bode, what are you doing? Bode has the compass and kills Cordova, sprinting off into the facility. Oh my god, honestly, I was mind blown when this happened in game. I'm even mind blown reading it and thinking about it now. We chase after Bode on a skiff through the Jedha desert, watching the Imperial forces take over the lands with the walkers and TIE fighters, but then something absolutely mental happens. Let's play the clip.
Why? Why, Bode? For this! We fought for that together, and you're just gonna hand it to the Empire!
I'm not giving it to the Empire.
You killed Master Cordova.
Cal, you don't have time for this fight. Something terrible is coming for that archive. Listen to your instincts. You know I'm right.
What have you done?
If you want to keep your family safe, you get them out of there. Right now.
What have you done? You can't be.
Bode is a Jedi? Oh my god, I was screaming at my TV screen, by the way, when this happened. Absolutely mental. Bode gets the better of Cal in this fight, and he actually dies or something after this? Bode gave the location of the archive to the Imperial forces, resulting in them to just invade and try to kill any remaining Jedi and destroy the Jedi archive. But then we get the option to respawn as goddamn Cere? Oh my god, man. Cere is an absolute beast. She can just one-hit enemies and she just doesn't take any crap from anyone. What a fucking woman Cere is. Wow.
To see the two of you.
We do the best job that we can defending the Mantis and the people around us as we possibly can, but Cere could not leave the archive behind. We need to save as much as we possibly can before the Emperor gets hold of it. But then, there's something at the door.
Now.
Then, as the door slowly opened, it revealed fucking Darth Vader. I lost it at this point. Oh my god.
Ground on Nur when we blew a hole in your underwater base.
It is delusion to think your actions have had any consequence. The fortress stands. The Inquisitorius continues its work. And I have come for you.
I've been waiting.
Talk about an entrance. This was just incredible. The long drawn out battle between the two of them was just amazing. Both of them almost as powerful as one another, throwing things at each other, battling each other, and just Darth Vader, man. He's just, oh my god, what a guy, what a character. Didn't go down without a fight, but Darth Vader was just too much for Seer, man. The ship, the Mantis, arrived as well. Cal had Seer and Cordova with him, but both of them were in body bags. Bede sprints out to Cal and gives him a hug, as does Marin, whilst Grease, well, is just distraught.
Take care of that?
Yeah. They're safe.
We'll find the proper place to bury him soon.
The remaining anchorites have scattered. The Empire pursues them. They may return at any moment. Seer bought enough time for BD1 to reach us with the contact codes for the hidden path. But this is all that remains of her archive.
We're so close to a second chance.
Blood and raw deal? Tell me, how could Bode be a Jedi and be an Imperial spy?
He is no Jedi.
Why couldn't we sense him?
He deceived us all.
No, I still should have been able to.
Now that's enough! Cal. That's enough, okay? What Bode did, that is on him. It's not on you. It's not on anyone. It's on him. We all know it's a rigged game, but we choose how to play.
It's a shame that there's not a bounty on his head. We could have hunted him with a guild tracker.
But then Cal remembers that he had a locator beacon. There's a signal. It's faint, but it's there. It's Bode's location in the Nova Garan system. He's gone straight to his daughter. This does feel a bit like a trap, but it's the only lead that we have, and he's got to take it. As we leave and walk off the Mantis, we're in the compound of a huge hangar bay at the foot of an Imperial facility. As we're walking through, this doesn't seem like any Imperial base. This one seems slightly different. Bode is working directly with the Imperial Army? The commander of the facility, Denvik, issued an emergency alert to bring us in, as he knew of our presence in this facility, and as we got further inside, we start to understand more around what's been going on here. We tell the commander to turn off the emergency alert and spill the beans on Bode. It turns out that Bode was working with the commander from the very start, from our very first mission on Coruscant to the final one on Jedha. Every set of Imperials that found us along the way, every time they've been one step ahead and we've wondered how. Bode was feeding them information, data, intel on our next move every single time. Commander Denvik was the one that sent all of the additional forces into Coruscant at the start of the game, which killed all of Cal's crew. Seer, Cordova, and more, all dead because of Denvik. But as we hear Denvik speak more and more, we hear that this makes a little bit too much sense. And a bit too much sense for us to be here right now. Bode activated that beacon because he knew we'd find this information out. He knew we'd want to kill Denvik and completely tear down this facility. He wanted us to destroy it and kill everyone inside so that he and his daughter could escape and go off the radar. Cal knocks Denvik out as opposed to killing him, and BD1 has a bit of a brainwave. Let's disguise ourselves as an Imperial officer and walk our way through to Bode's room. With the art of persuasion, we make our way through to Bode's room and look around and find that he was gathering intel on us this entire time, every step of the way. We also find an audio message from Bode to his daughter Kata, and a picture of his wife, daughter and himself, with an echo with him.
Mama.
Easy, sweetheart. I know. It's just me and you now, Kata. Just me and you.
Bode's daughter. And her mother.
We also walk inside Bode's bedroom, and on the side, a data disk. One that looked ancient. It was the same one that Dagon was watching when we walked inside the room during his last fight. But then, in walks Kata. Bode had told Kata to pack for a trip, so we help Kata pack.
Is this Mookie? Kinda looks like me.
A little. My mama gave him to me.
Kata. Did your dad tell you where he's taking you?
It was supposed to be a surprise. But you got here a little sooner than I expected. Come here, Kata.
Papa, what's going on?
This is my best friend. We had a fight, but we'll get things settled. When we go.
Bode tries to fill in the gaps, tell us his motivations. He was once a Jedi, and he survived the Purge when the Council assigned some Jedis to intelligence during the Clone Wars, and he used that knowledge to hide himself away. But when he met his wife, it changed his life completely. One day he got a message from his wife not to come home, as the Imperial Inquisitors were looking for Bode. They found out that he was a hiding Jedi, and, well, that was a very defining moment, because they killed his wife.
I knew I couldn't run forever, and so I cut a deal. Danvik keeps us hidden, as long as Papa stays useful.
You were lying to us from the very start.
Tanalorr was a way out for both of our families. You were gonna give it to the hidden path. A bunch of strangers.
And you were gonna sacrifice thousands of people to save yourself. You're a monster, Bode.
No. I'm a father. The first time I held her, I saw the entire galaxy in her eyes. You can't understand.
I understand betrayal. And that you lured me here to take down this base. Right?
Well, fighting the Empire is what you do best.
Bode and Kata were able to escape, and we chased after them throughout the facility. We chase him down until we get into the hangar bay, and Marinus helps us fight off the last wave. And then, in walks Denvik.
Damn you! Go on, Jedi. Do it! Do it! Rather you than Lord Vader.
Who is this?
He sent Bode after our team. My crew. Cordova. Fear! They're all dead because of him!
Come! This is what Bode wants. I know you are in pain, but this is not you! The Empire has taken enough from us! I will not lose you two!
You won't.
See you on the Mantis.
After a close call, we get back to the Mantis and explain the situation. We take a look at the data drive that we'd recovered from Bode's room. It was a recording of Centauri Kree, stating there's another way to get through the Koboh Abyss. If all of the arrays are aligned, it will open a pathway through the Abyss safely, so you don't need the compass? This is the only chance that we have. Risky, but it's all that we can do. We reach the array control center. However, as we enter the room, Centauri has a voice recording that starts speaking. Whilst one person is going through the portal, another must stay behind as a security measure and essentially activate the arrays. Kree really did think of everything here. Now the arrays are all in place, Z is atop and ready, waiting for the call to activate the arrays. Now all that's left is us returning to the Mantis to try not to die on our way to Tanalorr. We give Z the all clear and she fires up the arrays and we fly on into the abyss. Grease feeling a little bit nervous.
Here we go. I know. You want to fly this thing?
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet that's what all the other poor saps said right before they were torn into Vortex Chow. Great. Now it's an obstacle course. Coming too fast?
But you are faster. Stop piloting and start flying.
I'm rerouting power from deflectors to the engines.
What are you, crazy? You're trading safety for speed.
Exactly. We're all in on you, buddy.
You're right. It's my ship, ain't it? Greasy does it, baby! Hey, wait a minute. Is it me, or is this tunnel getting a tad cozy?
It's not just you. Z, what's going on?
The arrays are overloading. There's nothing I can do.
We need to go faster.
I'm going as fast as I can. Wait a minute. Are you crazy? If you jump into hyperspace blind, they'll be picking up pieces of the Mantis all over the outer rim.
Do you trust me?
You know I do, Cal. Let her ride.
Now.
You did it, you three-armed son of a Gundar!
Well, at least none of us lost our cool.
And there it is.
Wow.
Tanalorr.
I hope it's worth it.
We finally land on Tanalorr, and it's time to find Bode and end this once and for all. And to see what this place has to offer, we walk through the world, and there it is. The mountain, just like in the visions, and on the other side of the rocks, Bode's ship was still here. We enter the temple and are greeted with a voice singing in the distance. It was Kata.
The stars, silent in the sky. Now I start to wonder why. Show me your light. I've waited all night. Go star, won't you sing with me? CD1.
Hey, Kata. This is Marin. She's a friend.
I'm sorry Papa hurt you.
Yeah.
He said I'd never see you again. What are you doing here?
Kata, your father stole something very important. We're gonna ask him to give it back.
Will you show us the way?
Okay. Follow me. I don't like it here. It's dark and lonely.
You don't have to be afraid. Better?
You're very pretty.
We finally find Bode and try to reason with him by giving him a choice.
Kata! How did you get here?
It wasn't easy.
You shouldn't have followed us.
Papa, don't!
Stay back, Kata. This is the only way to keep you safe.
She will be safe. I promise, Bode. But listen to me. It's over.
Lay down your weapons.
This planet will be a haven for those hunted by the Empire, including Kata and you.
But it just didn't work. Bode was too far gone at this point, even using the Force to keep his daughter away.
Go outside, Kata.
Listen to them, please!
I will decide what's best for my family!
Put this on your daughter.
Bode, we know what it's like to grow up alone.
Please, listen to them, Papa!
All right. And when the Empire comes, will you be able to protect my little girl? I'm sorry, Kata. I tried.
No, Papa!
Stay back!
Cal defeated Bode, killing him despite giving him multiple chances. Cal didn't want his daughter growing up with no one, like he and Marin did. But Bode was destined to never change, so there was nothing more that they could do.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks.
Good. We should speak. I was not much older than you when I lost my family. For many years I carried this pain. I did not want to feel better.
Why?
I thought if I let go of the pain, I would be letting go of the people I loved. But I was wrong. And one day, I met someone who also lost his family. Together we found another way to survive. This pain is yours. It is part of you.
When my mother died, it changed Papa. And me too, I guess.
Yes. But it does not have to define you. And you must not let it consume you.
saved my life on Bracca. You let me walk my own path when I needed to. You taught me what it truly means to be a Jedi. Now you're gone. We will continue your legacy, Seer. We will build something that can outlast the Empire. I promise you that. I promise. But I'm scared. I almost lost myself. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for what comes next.
Guide her through the darkness.
But guys, that is the story of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. What a fantastic game, man. A jaw-dropping game in so many areas. Darth Vader playing as Seer, just wow. I loved every second of it. Getting the crew back together. Obviously, Cal gets the girl as well, and that was amazing. Really nice ending there as well. Obviously, we've got Kata as well, so I presume there'll be a third game, so Kata will be a big part of that potentially going into it. Look, this was, for me, the absolute pinnacle of storytelling. There were some fantastic story progressions. I thought the character development was absolutely brilliant. I've got to say, I don't want to give my spoiler review in this, but this is a very close to a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. One of my favourite games I've played in a very, very long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was a longer game as well, like 15-16 hours, which was perfect for me. But guys, if you got this far into the video, comment down below Grease, just so I know who made it this far into the video. It's always interesting to know. If you did go on to enjoy this video, leave a like. It'd be very, very much appreciated. These videos take so long to make, and it's currently 3:47 in the morning as of recording this. So yeah, I'd be really appreciated if you could leave a like for my lack of sleep. Subscribe if you guys are brand new as well. It'd be very much appreciated. We'll see you all next time.